How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, we're struggling here this morning because of that loss. But first and foremost, we want your expertise defensively. What resonated with you most about the Bears' defensive effort against Green Bay?
I'd say getting pass rush really showed up. We had 3 sacks on the night, and then a number of pressures where you get him off his spot. You don't allow him to throw in rhythm. Those are the positive things I saw. What I didn't see or what needs to get better is tackling. And then opportunities. You got to take advantage of opportunities. There were plenty of times where they're in 2nd and 5. They have a run play. We have an opportunity to get a tackle for loss there where it goes to 3rd and 8. And we don't make that play. Now they're in 1st and 10 again. So because they get the 5 yards or they run a screen play, we have the right defense called, and we have a unblocked player, and that unblocked player does not make the tackle. So in those, these are growing pains. These are things that we got to learn. We got a lot of young guys out there, a lot of guys that are being asked to do a lot more than they have been in the past, and we just got to grow with it. So I'd like to just see that improvement come along, not see as many missed tackles, and I think that game is a lot closer than it ended up being.
AB, I want to take you back to a couple of different things. First of all, you mentioned that you were down on the run defense. Bears have allowed 370-some yards through 2 weeks. That is unacceptable. But we were sitting in the conference room. We're eating our wildfire dinner. We're having a good old time, yucking it up. The game's tight. And it is, I paid for it. It is 2nd and 28. Yeah. And you, Lance, and Coach Wanstead are going, screen or draw, screen or draw. There are no plays for 2nd and 28. 19-yard screen play. 2 plays later, they're dancing in the end zone with a touchdown. I can't understand how they can't see that and make a freaking tackle.
No, it's easy to sit in the room and say it, right? You know that's the play they're going to run, but what if they don't? What if they run that 10-yard dig and you're sitting there waiting on a screen play? Then we'll be in there screaming like we got to get a pass rush. We got to get. So I think what's glaring about that play is the defensive line not sticking their foot in the ground and retracing. You have to come out of that pile running because that's how you stop a screen. You stop a screen by rallying to the football. Everybody has to rally because they've allowed your defensive line, maybe 3 of the 4, to go by. So it gives them an advantage. Now they have some big boys coming up on our secondary guys. They got 3 offensive linemen that's coming up on our secondary guys, and we need our defensive line running to the football because that is the only way to stop that play and make them not want to run it because they know you're going to be running after the football. Once again, learning pain. These are things that we need to see improve over the season, but let's not jump out the window yet. It's 2 games, right? It's 2 games in the new regime's tenor. So we don't. There's going to be some hard days, and hopefully we start to see that change. I'm thinking in the next year because when Lovey got here, that's what we saw. We didn't see that change until the 2nd year, and it wasn't right away in the 2nd year. If you forget, we went 1-3 to start off that 05 season and ended 11-5, I want to say. So it's just like it's going to happen, but it's not going to be right away. We still need some more pieces on that defense, but the good thing is we ran the ball well. We still rushed the quarterback. Like we have guys showing up that didn't show up last year. Whether that's Gibson, whether that's Robinson, these guys they've had 2 sacks each in 2 games. So in 2 different games rather, and we all know what we're going to get from Robert Quinn. So we have some pass rushers out there. Now we have to be able to stop the run. to earn that right to rush the quarterback.
What did you think of the education that Brisker and Gordon got against veteran wide receivers like Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb, Aaron Jones? What did you think of their performance in the secondary?
No, I mean, there were some spots where it was rough. It was tough. Like, we have to tackle better. We can't lose leverage. When you lose leverage, those are big plays. When you're peeking in the backfield, whether that's Eddie Jackson or Brisker, you're peeking in the backfield. Aaron Rodgers, a veteran quarterback, and now you got a veteran receiver, they're going to get behind you. And that's going to be a problem each and every time.
Alex, there are people calling in. Hoodie and I have had this discussion. How can we only throw 11 passes? Why can't we get our passing game on track? And then Kenny Clark talks to Brad Biggs after the game, and his quote was, they can't protect him. We hit him every time he dropped back, and you could tell he was rattled because they can't protect him. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think he was rattled. I honestly, if Cleveland didn't rattle this kid last year, I'm sorry. I don't know if he can get rattled, honestly. I mean, he can continue to get hit, and he can make errant throws where everybody does. I mean, we saw Aaron Rodgers miss a wide-open guy last night. So, I mean, that stuff happens. But as far as the protection, well, no, it can't protect him because we threw the ball 11 times. He got sacked 3 times. That's a really bad percentage. That's a really bad percentage when we're talking about your quarterback getting sacked, not to mention the hurries, him getting off his spot, not being able to throw in rhythm. So we're running the ball down their throat. I'd be more concerned with why didn't Montgomery get the ball more? When he's running off 8 yards a pop, he only gets 15 carries. Like, he has to get the ball more, especially during these times where he's just gashing them, right? So you got to stick with that. The passing plays will come. I mean, they'll come. We have to have guys out on the perimeter that can beat man coverage, that can go up and make a play. I mean, we saw Cole Kmet drop a ball. We don't know where that particular drive ends up if we can get a little rhythm going. I mean, we had nothing going against San Francisco. We got a fluke play from Pettis, fluke play. We get that fluke play, and then from that moment on, it looked like we had a rhythm in that San Francisco game. And you never know what it's going to take to get us that rhythm, but we have to get into it. And dropping balls, not going up and making a play for your quarterback, that's not helping. So the offensive line is the offensive line. This is what we have, right? Now we have to deal with it. We have to do what we believe is the best thing to win that football game. Dropping back 40 times and making the fans happy is only going to put Justin Fields in the cold tub a lot sooner. That's all that's going to do.
Alex Brown with us every Monday at 9 on ESPN 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app on Kaplan and J. Hood. I hear what you're saying about the running game. I started the show talking about giving David Montgomery his flowers because he runs the football like it's going to be his last. I like that because he runs with a ruthless aggression, which I really like. 15 carries, 122 yards. But, Alex, in this league, if you're not able to connect to a tight end or a wide receiver, because you know how flag happy this league is now. I mean, you can you can breathe on a receiver or a tight end and you get calls. You have to be able to get it down the field. Like you say, they should run the football more. 15 for a 122 was good, but at some point you have to go vertical. Does that start against the Texans?
Well, I didn't hear any of this right here. I didn't believe this. If you play great defense and you run the football, maybe you take a few shots during the game to keep them honest, to keep the defense from stacking the box on you. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if the defense is stacking the box outside of run situations. I think they're just playing regular defense. We have to win our one-on-one blocking. And then we got Montgomery. He's making a guy miss every time he gets the ball. So that guy that is coming scot-free, he's not going to make that tackle. So you need to stick to your block. And if we can do that, he'll continue down this road of putting up 100-plus every single week.